Hey, Ash. Well, I guess they're moving me today, so hopefully I can see you later. As soon as I get the information on where I'm going, I'll let you know. I don't exactly know where all my T-shirts and things are, but it would be nice if you were here to help kind of repack my bags and reorganize things when I get moved. So anyway, thank you very much. I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Hey, Dad.
My name is Trey Yant, otherwise known as Crash Lee's father. On September 21st of 2015, I had a hemorrhagic stroke right here in my brain, which meant a blood vessel hemorrhaged, and I ended up with a stroke, which left my left side partially paralyzed. And pretty much ever since then, I've been in rehab and just trying to get better and trying to teach my muscles how to start working again. Well, when I had this stroke, it was after a golf tournament, and as typically happens, everyone gathers in a refreshment tent or something afterwards, and I was sitting at this table having lunch with my fellow players, and I felt this tingle start at my toes and work its way up my body, almost like a chill. But then when it stopped here, so I reached my left arm and it was numb. Now, that's when I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what exactly. Some people thought I was having a heart attack, and I thought, no, it doesn't hurt. I don't have chest pain, it's just numb. And so we surmised that I was having a stroke. So we called 911 and just waited for the ambulance to get there. So they loaded me in the ambulance, and it was a really rough road out to Twality Hospital. They just took me out of the ambulance into the emergency room and then constantly checked my blood pressure and sticking IVs in me. And then they told me when I was there, they go, well, we're prepping a helicopter for you. We're going to take you to Portland. I was like, helicopter? Holy crap. Thinking life flight, I'm not dying. Maybe I was, I don't know. Well, I didn't. That was the first time I'd ever ridden in a helicopter. It wasn't worth the wait. My understanding is that they took me out of the helicopter straight into the hospital, into the CAT scan, and then right out of a CAT scan into surgery, where they put a drain in my brain that was draining out spinal fluid and blood, I guess. I woke up in the ICU, and my earliest recollection was that it was just really loud and obnoxious with alarms and buzzers going off, and I couldn't walk or move, so it was a little bit confusing. I remembered what had happened, but when you first wake up, you're kind of like, I was kind of dizzy and like trying to put it all together, but it was very odd. It was very surreal. I wrote in my blog that it was like waking up in the middle of a Chuck E. Cheese, except there was nurses walking around, but it was very disorienting. In fact, I remember thinking, I've never been more messed up, but felt so good. There was no pain, there was nothing that had me worrying about, am I sick, am I messed up, am I gonna die? I don't remember thinking about any of that. Well, I'm assuming it was because I had high blood pressure over a long period of time, but in the weeks leading up to the stroke, my blood pressure wasn't that high. It was, I'm guessing 140 over 90-ish. It's kind of, which is high, but it wasn't real high. I guess I heard months later that my blood pressure when the ambulance got there was like 200 and something over 130 or something, but obviously some of that was I was scared because I knew an ambulance was coming for me, so I had anxiety, but there's not a definitive cause. I'm just assuming it was high blood pressure. Going from the hospital to home was a horribly hard transition. When you're in the hospital, it's easy. You press a button when you need pills, you press a button when you need water, you just press a button if you gotta go to the bathroom and someone comes and helps you. Hell, they wipe your butt if you need help in the hospital. when you're home, you're pretty much on your own or whoever's helping you, and it's as hard to ask for help with those kind of stuff as I'm sure it is to offer help to do some of that stuff. It's not fun. That was the hardest part of this whole thing, was coming home. Everyone says, oh, you get to go home, congratulations. Oh yeah, well, I didn't realize that was gonna be the worst part. But it's a lot better now. Well, I ended up losing my job because I could no longer perform the duties of my job, so I haven't worked there since the day it happened. So I went back in September and I gave a speech to 120 or 30 some former co-workers and just kind of told my story and told them that not just the benefits, but the necessity to maintain a healthy blood pressure, which I was told for years, and while I was diligent about checking it and trying to take my meds, I didn't really take seriously when they said, God, you know, if your blood pressure gets high, you could have a stroke. And I'm like, I'm not gonna have a stroke. That's really old people have strokes. But anyway, I think that's because we don't really know how devastating a stroke can be. So maybe the warnings don't come across as stern as they should because you don't take them as seriously as you should because you don't know how bad it is. So I wanted my former coworkers to see someone who used to walk the halls sit in a wheelchair and tell them, if you don't check your blood pressure, you could end up like me. And so I hope to continue to do more of that.
Hello, world. 160 pounds of fierceness right here, I tell you. It's not asking. My arm is relaxing a little bit.
Yeah, it is, huh?
Usually when I stand up, it gets...
It goes, yeah.
It's good. That's sore.
Trey, this looks really quite even. How do you feel? How does it feel?
I just sent you a secret message.
When I wasn't looking.
I said you're number one.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks, Dad.
And then you're going to go forward.
Tell her what you're...
Forward, keeping
This
the
is me
palm
just
up,
trying to correct my knee.
helping at the elbow now.
Trying to keep
when
it
he
in
comes
line
back,
with the rest of my
back.
leg.
Keep the hand up, pointing toward
Going
the
this
ceiling.
way,
Look forward, Trey. Good. Look forward, Trey.
So once I get this leg trained to do this properly,
Yeah.
I can swim
Push forward.
until
Good job, Daddy-O. You look good in purple.
I mean, I see fine, I think fine, I think. I mean, you know, when you have a brain injury, you can never really be sure, like, am I thinking straight or do I just think I'm thinking straight, you know? There's always that little bit of second guess.
Good job. Great work.
I've tried to just accept that this is the new me. I don't spend a lot of time dwelling about, well, the old me used to do this and this and this.
Good job, Dad. Good job.
Well, that old me doesn't exist anymore, so I'm trying to
Boss.
craft out a life that does work with the new me. So that's kind of where I'm at, mentally anyway. Just make sure that you or your parents or grandparents, or make sure you check your blood pressure and get it treated.